What's up, everybody? This is Raptor Jones here, and today I'm finally back making a video. It has been forever. And today we're gonna be reviewing the Raptor at Cedar Point. This B&M invert is one of the most well-known coasters in the entire park, but how good really is it, in my opinion? Today I'll be giving 9 categories and an overall score of how I think this ride really it is good. So let's get started. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm finally back making videos, and also before I start this, all credit of this footage of the Raptor off-ride goes to Coaster Crutchfield. If you like off-rides of roller coasters and POVs, go check out their channel. It is a pretty cool channel. So, let's get started. The first, also, sorry about this crack, if you guys see it, it's on my laptop, so. The first, category is the duration of Raptor, and the duration is 2 minutes and 16 seconds, and that is a pretty long coaster, so I'm gonna give it a 7. It's a pretty long, sorry, I kind of lost for words. It is a pretty long duration time. Next up, we have the speed of Raptor, and Raptor goes 57 miles per hour. Not a bad speed, so we're gonna give it a 5. Next up is the height of Raptor, and Raptor, as its maximum height, goes 137 feet. That is a pretty tall coaster, but, so, I'm gonna give it a 6. It's a fairly tall coaster. Next up is the smoothness of Raptor, and I give it a 5. If you're up in the front, you're definitely gonna get a more smooth ride than you are in the back. Honestly, it's a B&M invert. You're gonna get your head banged once in a while, especially on inversions and stuff. So, overall, Raptor is not butter smooth, but it's not incredibly rough. It's right in the middle, in my opinion. Next up for Raptor is the drop. And the drop, in my opinion, is a 4. It just is an incredible drop. I mean, it's a B&M invert. What do you expect? Drops isn't everything on this coaster. If you're on the front, you definitely have a much better drop, but, it's still, like, it's not a really good drop. I mean, but like I said, what do you expect to be an invert? B&M inverts aren't necessarily known for their drops. If you're in the back, if you're in the back, you're not nearly gonna have as good as experience as in the front, and even in the front, it's kind of, it's okay. So, the drop, it's not really bad, but it's not necessarily good. Next up for Raptor is the intensity, and I think it's a fairly intense coaster, so we're gonna give it a 6. I think it's a fairly intense coaster, because, the ride is just a great coaster. That loop is awesome. The Cobra roll, definitely part that helix at the end is great. So this is a fairly intense coaster. I don't necessarily think that it is not intense at all. I think it is a fairly intense coaster. Next up for the inversions next up for Raptor, my bad, is the inversions. And normally we would do air times, but B&M inverts almost have no air time. So this time we're doing the inversions, and Raptor has 6 inversions, which includes a vertical loop, a Cobra roll, and I think a couple barrel rolls and stuff like that. And I'm gonna give it a 7. The inversions are pretty cool. The vertical loop, as it'll be shown as the coaster going through, the vertical loop is a pretty good inversion. The Cobra roll on the ride is fantastic. The barrel rolls, all except one, are good. The last barrel roll kind of jerks you, and it's like, eh. But it's a fairly good inversion coaster. It's a B&M invert. What do you expect? It's a B&M invert. And the last category for Raptor is the theming. And Raptor gets a 1 because there is no theming to this ride. It's like Shivering Timbers. The only time you see any theming is when you see the logo as soon as you get into the ride and on the trains. There's nothing to this, there's no theming with this coaster at all, but what do you expect? It's named after a bird, you can't really theme it, because no one knows what exactly it is. And actually, funny thing, when I first heard of the Raptor, I thought it was based off of Velociraptor, which was the dinosaur. I have no idea why I thought that to this day, but hey, it's okay. And now, if this is the overall rating, what do I think Raptor is overall? Is it good, bad, in between? Well, I'm going to tell you what it is right now. It is a 7.5. This coaster is a pretty good coaster. It has potential. It's definitely, probably, maybe number 6 in the park. But, I mean, it's Cedar Point. What do you expect? Cedar Point has some of the best roller coasters in the world. I've ridden this twice, once in the front, once in the way back, like last seat, and it is a pretty good coaster. If you are at Cedar Point, this is the roller coaster I'd probably hit first, because as soon as you enter the park, this is the first coaster you see. So anyways, this is Record Jones with a coaster review once again. How do you like this video? If you like the video, make sure to subscribe. Almost hit 110, so I guess that's kind of cool. And yeah, guys, this is it. This is Record Jones, signing out.